Hey y'all, just going to do a little prelude to this video that's coming up. I have attached some progress pictures from pre-op to 2 months post-op at the end of this video. So if you are interested in getting to those, I will put in the description box down below when exactly through the video those come into play. So that way if you don't want to listen to me ramble, then you can just skip ahead. Hope you all are doing great. Hey y'all, it's Tosh with VSG for Baby B. I'm going to try to do my variation of a 2-month post-op update. Sorry if you hear noise in the background. My animals are ridiculously wild. It's in the middle of the night and they don't care. So I've actually filmed this like 3 times and they're just too rambunctious. So I'm just going to try to go with it. I apologize if it's loud. Okay, if you are subscribed to me already, then you've probably seen my week 9 post-op update, which goes over essentially everything that's happened up to 2 months out. But I thought long and hard, and when I was pre-op, the videos that interested me the most at the main beginning, there wasn't a whole lot of. I wanted to know what were the toughest parts of weight loss surgery. I thought if somebody told me the bad stuff, then I could get over it. I could work myself up and get past it and then focus on the good. And there wasn't a whole lot out there. So, and a lot of people are going to think this is negative. And it is not, I promise. Sorry, my dog's growling at the other dog. This is just a list that I have compiled of the 10 toughest things for me, not for everybody. This is just, and some of these are very, very random, very strange, but this is the 10 things in order that I think have been the toughest from pre-op to 2 months out. I'm going to go ahead and do my stats if you've not seen any of my videos before. Again, my name's Tosh. I am 5'7". I had vertical sleeve gastrectomy on September 12th, 2016 at Pikeville Medical Center in Pikeville, Kentucky with Dr. Amy Johnson. My highest weight ever recorded was 341 pounds. My day of surgery, I weighed 315. And the last time I weighed in was earlier in the week, and I weighed 280.9. Yes. Disclaimer. All the negative stuff that I'm going to say would not ever prevent me from having this surgery done again. I would do it again and again. Did I always feel that way? No. No, I did not. The first week was a rough time. But I got past that, and I got to where I could see the light at the end of the tunnel. And now I'm very, very happy and very thankful for my sleeve. So anybody that's pre-op that is thinking about doing this surgery, do not let this scare you away. What this is for me, at least when I tried to find videos like this, was, is this stuff I can live with? Is this stuff that I can deal with to get through this and to become the person I want to be? And yeah, it is. All of these. I got through them, and it's fine. And some of them I'm still kind of dealing with a little bit. But I would do this surgery again and again and again. And I was a big skeptic. So please don't let this scare you away. And if you have any questions, anything, let me know. Message me, anything, and I will try to help you out as best as I can. Okay. I'm going to go in order from the least concerning to what's been the hardest thus far. So, number 1, this sounds so stupid, and if you all are post-op and watching this, let me know down below the hardest parts for you also. But let me know if this is something anybody else has dealt with, because to me this is like the craziest thing in the world. I sneeze so much more since I had surgery. I don't know how to explain it. I've read about people having like a tic when they get too full. Every time I get full and I like start to reach that limit, I sneeze. Every time. And that's not necessarily like it's not bad. Like, that's why it's at the bottom of my list, essentially, is it doesn't really affect anything. But it's odd to be sneezing around people all the time. Like, the girls I work with have heard me sneeze I don't know how many times, and they're like, what? Are you okay? And I'm fine. But it's like that everybody thinks you're sick. And I'm not. I sneeze more. I don't understand. And please, I'm wearing like an old rinky-dink t-shirt because I'm going to go to bed here shortly, so I apologize. Okay, number 2. since surgery, I cannot do spicy foods. And I didn't do spicy before. So let me clarify. Like, I've never done spicy foods. I can't do any kind of foods with some heat in them. The first thing that I realized that I had an issue with that, I took a bite of a Slim Jim. Slim Jims are not that hot. They're not. They just have a little bit of a tang to them. It burnt me alive. Like, I thought I would die. Tonight, we had went to Taco Bell, and I tried, there was like this cheese sauce, which I know is not the healthiest thing for you, but I tried just a little dab of it. And my husband was like, oh, it's good, but it's just so mild. It doesn't have any taste, you know. It literally brought tears to my eyes. I can't do spicy stuff anymore. That being said, I know a lot of people that have a great tolerance with spice, and that's wonderful. I'm just not that girl. I do take Zantac, I do take Prilosec, anything to keep the acid reflux down, but this is just literally like it burns my mouth. I don't know why that is. I don't know if it's because you're on liquids for so long and you get such a bland palate that it changes the way that food affects you, I guess. But that's kind of strange. I have to be really cautious of what I'm eating and make sure it doesn't have any like major spices in it. Number 3, when you are thirsty before surgery, I'm talking like been working out, sweaty, hot, nasty, thirsty, okay? It was nothing for me to grab a bottle of water, to grab something and drink like half of it or more right then. Just kind of chug it, essentially. You can't do that after surgery. At least not for a long time. I'm not there yet. I can take bigger drinks. You don't always have to sip. I do take bigger drinks now. But like this morning, I woke up so thirsty. My mouth was so dry. And I just instinct, I had a Powerade Zero laying next to the bed. I grabbed it. I turned it up. I took like 3 big gulps and immediately sat straight up in bed and thought, oh, what have I done? And it hurt. Oh, and I thought I would be sick. It was not a good time. That's hard. That's hard to not be able, you have to limit yourself. You can't just grab something and chug it real quick. It's not possible. Okay, number 4. Sorry, I'm trying to keep my animals from interrupting this video for like the 50 millionth time. Okay, number 4 for me was liquids. Sorry, my shirt's like, I don't know, crazy. This is pre-op and post-op liquids. For me, I had to do a 2-week liquid diet before surgery. I did not get a meal. I did not get any kind of solid food. I could have pudding and Jell-O, but I was mainly protein shakes. And it was harder pre-op. Everybody dreads that part. But it was doable. I guess, you know, it's harder because you have your full stomach. You have your full appetite. So you're not satisfied with a protein drink. At least I was never satisfied with a protein drink. So those 2 weeks were hard. But you can kind of see that light at the end of the tunnel too, in that aspect that, okay, my surgery's in 10 days. Okay, my surgery's in 5 days. And it gets a little bit easier after the first 3 or 4 days. Okay. After surgery, it was fine because I had no desire to eat. I had no desire to drink. So I had to make myself. But after that first week, then you start to get to that, okay, all these protein drinks are really sweet. I miss salty foods. I missed crunchy foods. Like, it was rough. That was hard. And it felt like it would last forever. And that I was never going to get to eat again. And I was never going to be normal again. And I was just going to drink my meals from now on. It feels, when you're in the moment, it feels like it's lasting forever. But here I am, 9 weeks out, and I barely remember being on liquids. Like, honestly. And it's not just the liquids. When you go to purees, then you want, you know, more solid foods. Then you go to soft foods, then you want crunchy foods. Like, there's always that step. Now that I'm able to eat essentially any kind of food, it doesn't feel bad to me at all. Like, I barely remember craving these foods. And it's not that you crave them because you want like the taste of them. It's literally, you just want anything other than what you're allowed to have. So that was pretty rough. Okay, number 5. And a lot of people are going to be like, are you kidding? This is not even a big deal. But it was a big enough deal to me to where it is in the middle of my list. When I was fresh post-op, I had to sleep in a recliner because I could not physically raise myself up out of the bed to like get up to pee or just to get up in the mornings. It was so much easier for me to sleep in a recliner. In the recliner, I only had, it was essentially like 2 positions I could lay in. I could either lay on my back or I could tilt a little bit. I'm very much a stomach sleeper. So when I was in the bed, I was afraid I was going to roll over onto my stomach, and my stomach was really sore. The pain was not bad for me anyways. The pain was not a big deal. Sorry. But the recliner definitely helped me. Now, that being said, I have lots of friends who had surgery who did not ever use a recliner. They were just in the bed from day one, but they did prop themselves up on pillows. I couldn't do that because I wiggled too much, and I wiggled myself right out of those pillows. But I slept in the recliner, I think, for the first week. I think it was day 4. I had a complete mental breakdown. Cried hysterically because I wanted to sleep in the bed with my husband. I wanted to sleep in my bed and not in a recliner. Now, granted, he had moved the recliner into the bedroom and put it up against the bed, so it was like I was in the bed with him. But I wasn't. And the recliner was really comfortable, but you get to that point where you're just like, I just want to sleep in the bed. I just want to lay on my side. I just want to not be in this stupid chair. That was hard. Not being able to sleep like a normal person was rough. Okay, number 6. And this may not be a hard thing for most people. And for me, it's not been hard. I've been very open about my surgery. But I still struggle with how to respond when people ask you, well, how much weight have you lost? Well, what have you done to lose this weight? Did you have surgery? Because people are nosy by nature. I mean, that's just the truth. And with me, it's easier in a sense. At first, it wasn't. At first, I didn't tell anybody until like right after surgery. And then I finally said, okay, by the way, I had surgery. But knowing how to respond to people, especially people you don't know well. You'll have people that'll see you like in Walmart and say, girl, you look so good. What have you done to lose that weight? And you can hear it in their voice that they just want you to admit that you didn't work hard. Let me tell you, this is not the easy way out. Is it easier than some things? Yeah, probably. This is freaking hard, y'all. Worth it, though. Totally worth it. Okay. Number 7. TMI alert. You can peace out now if you want to. Gas. Holy cannoli, Batman. No matter what I eat, no matter what medicines I take, no matter what I do with myself, gas is a big deal. It's bad post-op, or it was for me. It was bad post-op for honestly like a week and a half. That was the most pain that I had was from gas. It wasn't really from the surgical incisions. It was gas. But it's more so now. No matter what I eat, like a couple hours later, my stomach is like in knots and it's rolling, and I've taken medicine and I've taken medicine and I've talked to my surgeon and my dietitian, and they say sometimes that's just normal. That's just your body's way of like processing, I guess, and healing. Is it doesn't know how to take this food. So you get gas. And that's hard. It's hard to be like out with friends and going to eat and then go out afterwards and, do whatever. And all of a sudden you're like, oh, I'm so miserable. I'm so miserable. Yeah, it's kind of hard. Okay, number 8. Now we're getting into the bad ones. There was 3. These are my top 3 for sure. But this is number 8 on my list is mind games. I can't say you will, but inevitably, I don't know anybody that's not. You get to a point, whether it's a couple days post-op, whether it's 2 months post-op, whether it's 2 years post-op, you get to this point where something will happen. It could be something so minor that you will be like, why the hell did I do this to myself? Why have I went through this procedure? Why couldn't I just lose the weight on my own? I've lost weight before. Why did I have my stomach cut out to do that? Why couldn't I just do low carb? Why couldn't I just exercise? You have those thoughts, and that's hard, because then it's like those little demons kind of playing on you saying, okay, you screwed up. You should have never done this. This was a waste of your time. You've changed yourself forever. Look what you've done. You're going to have to live like this the rest of your life, depriving yourself. And is that true in some aspect? Yeah, it is. But you know what? I was depriving myself at 341 pounds of not living, of being in my 20s and not living like I should have been. That was what was depriving. But your mind will still play those tricks on you, and that's rough. That's rough. And it's not just like once and done. Several times since surgery. Several times I've had those thoughts of, what in the world? Not to mention, on top of mind games, and this is kind of, I guess, like an extra thing, your hormones go crazy after surgery. And I hate to even say this, I'm angry. Like, I get mad so much easier, and I snap so much quicker for nothing. And then I'm okay. After a little bit, I'm fine again. But I have definitely noticed myself being much quicker to anger. And I'm not proud of that. I don't like that, and I try to fix it. But sometimes it just happens. And that's your mind, too, playing games on you. And you'll be like, why am I even mad at this? Like, this is stupid. Why is this affecting me like this? Your mind plays a lot of tricks on you after surgery. Okay, number 9, weakness. I am so weak. When you are in a bigger body and you are carrying all those extra pounds, you're strong. 90% of the time, you're strong. You have to be. Your body has to be, because it's packing around 200 extra pounds or however much. I don't know. I lost weight. You go on liquids. Your muscle does deteriorate a little bit just through the natural process of recovering from this surgery. I went back to work after 6 weeks, and I used to consider myself a strong person, like able to lift like a lot more and to do a lot more. And when I went back after surgery, I was weak as dishwater. I couldn't do it. And even now, like, I'm trying to start build my strength back up, but it's hard. You realize, like, okay, I'm not as capable as I was of doing this stuff. And that's something I didn't expect. I didn't expect for it to make that big of a difference and take a toll on me and on my body that quick. But it did. It definitely did. Okay. Number 10. This one is a hard one. Hence the reason it's at the top of my list. Let me give you the scenario and then kind of go into it. We went and had pictures taken. My husband and I had some pictures taken for some Christmas cards, just some cute little pictures. For the first time in years and years and years and years, maybe the first time ever in my adult life, truthfully, I was okay with how my body looked. Am I satisfied at 280 pounds? No. Lord, no. But compared to what I was last year, I am much, much more satisfied with how the pictures looked. And that was so exciting to me, because I thought, okay, we're going to have these pictures. I'm putting a full body shot on my Christmas card. What? Before we were like shoulders up, maybe boobs, if your boobs are good, just to be honest. But, if the girls were looking good, then I would do like chest up. There was never none of this whole, thing. No, we didn't put that in a Christmas card. We didn't put that on the internet. We put it in the bed. That's all we did. Like, just went to sleep with it. That's all. But I was so excited, and I thought it was such a big milestone, and I've got, my whole body. And then I realized, okay, but my face still looks big. Okay, I've got these wrinkles around my eyes. My hair isn't got as much volume as I want it to have. My teeth aren't wide enough. And I literally picked myself apart. I've never been that person. At the risk of sounding, I don't know what the word is, cocky, conceited, I don't know. At the risk of sounding like that, and Lord knows I don't mean it. We all have issues. We all have flaws. We all have stuff we struggle with. I have never been that person to pick apart my body and my features and to hate on myself. Because if you don't love yourself, you can't expect anybody else to love you. I mean, that's just the truth. But I noticed, okay, so I'm not concerned with my weight anymore. Before, somebody could say, okay, what are you most self-conscious about? And I would say my weight. Duh, okay. And that was it. That was my big, just kind of overshadowed everything else that could ever be wrong. And I would say, no, my weight. And leave it there. Now, my weight is going down. And I still am finding things that I'm not satisfied with. And that's probably never going to change. That is never going to change. But I have to make that effort to say, okay, you know, you're not allowed to talk about yourself like that. You're not. You're not allowed to belittle yourself. You are worth more than that. But I have definitely, I'll notice, like, I'll be standing in the mirror and I'll be going, oh my goodness, my waist looks so much smaller, or my shoulders look more defined. Oh, but look, I'm breaking out. Or I've got lots of freckles and I'll be like, oh, but my freckles look too dark. I'm like, what? And I used to love my freckles. I used to love them. And now I find myself in the mirror wishing they weren't there. That has been the hardest part of this. Is that as soon as you think you're fixing your main issue, then you find something else. That's something I'm going to have to work on. That being said, all of those things may sound horrible, terrible, ridiculous. I don't know. Again, I would do this all over again. Regardless of anything on this list. Regardless of anything anybody could say on this list. Because I have found a strength inside myself through this process that I didn't know was there. I'm happy with the way that my future could potentially go. I'm excited to see where this takes me. Not to mention the support that you get, especially on YouTube. Like, this community is incredible. Incredible. You don't realize how many people out there have the same stuff going on, have the same struggles, have the same complications, have the same goals and victories, and it's unreal to me still. But I wish that when I was pre-op I had this list in front of me. And would it have intimidated me? Probably. Would it have swayed me one way or another? Maybe. But this is the kind of stuff I wanted. I wanted to know the bad so that I could get past it. So I hope that if this is what you're looking for, and you may never experience anything on my list, but I was, again, the biggest skeptic, and I was so afraid of what could happen, or how things were going to be different, or how things were going to change. And if that is the only things that I've had to deal with, like my worst 10 things, I can live with that. And that's the key phrase right there, is I can live. You know, I was 26 years old and 341 pounds. Who knew if I would be 28 and 400 pounds? 29 and 450. You know, could I have lived then? Maybe. But you're not living. You're existing. At least I was. And I'm living this life. And I cannot wait to keep on living it as long as the good Lord will have me here. No matter what I put on this list, no matter what tomorrow adds to this list, I am so thankful for my sleep, and I am glad that I did it.